So they will learn how to leverage every organic channel to get leads.
GTM AI podcast with Jonathan Moss and Coach K, where you get the latest with AI and GTM today. GTM AI podcast with Jonathan Moss and Coach K. Tune in now, don't delay.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. It is I, Jonathan Carford, aka Coach K, and we are on another episode of the GTM AI podcast. I am excited because I get to have one of the founders of Gojiberry, which I've been geeking out for the tech, Mr. Roman Cherney. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited. I randomly reconnected, and I don't remember how you guys connected with me somehow. I don't think you reached out to me. I reached out to you, but I got a behind the scenes look about what you guys are doing, and I was like, I got to have you on the podcast to talk about it. So I'm really excited to have you. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Perfect. Let's go.
Let's do it. So before we begin, I always like to begin with obviously talking about you because everyone doesn't know who you are. So obviously you're a founder of Goji, but tell me more about you as like your journey. Who are you as a human being? How the heck did you start this company? Give me the goods.
Sure. I'm 30. I live in Portugal, in Lisbon, Portugal. So I've been in entrepreneurship since 2019. I'm a mechanical engineer. So I worked at a car manufacturer. Then I thought to myself, that's not what I want to do. So I went into freelance. I did affiliate marketing. And then in 2022, I got into SaaS. So I built my first SaaS called Coco AI. We sold it to a venture in the US. And while building this SaaS, actually, we find a way to book more demos while targeting the right people. And so that's how we created Gojiberry AI.
Love it.
I live in Portugal. I have one daughter. I work a lot, obviously. So yeah, I moved out of France to have a nice weather, and that's a place I like.
But you grew up in France, though. Is that right?
I grew up in France.
My wife's a French teacher, and she taught my kids how to speak French, and now they're 5 and talking really well. I got to learn French because otherwise, when they're teenagers, they're going to be talking smack, and I'm just saying it'll be good. But I've been there a couple of times. France is a beautiful place. Are you from southern, northern? Which part?
Normandy.
Normandy. Beautiful. Beautiful area up there. That's awesome. I've actually been to Normandy, so I know it was gorgeous up there, which is cool. I'm excited. So what today, I know I teased it up, but what if someone listens to the entire podcast, what will they get out of listening to what you have to show us today?
So they will learn how to leverage every organic channel to get leads.
I love it. And one example, if anyone's paid attention to my LinkedIn, I had LinkedIn. I think one of my craziest posts ever was the one I posted about you guys. And we talked about how you use Cowork and Koji and putting things together. So I'd love to get your take on it. But one more thing. Sorry, before we do, I know you described Goji, but tell me about Goji Tech and what's unique about it versus whoever else in the market.
Yeah. So what we do is pretty easy. We find high intent leads and help you contact them on LinkedIn. So what's interesting about Goji is there are many tools in the SaaS industry to do outreach. So some tools do only the outreach part. We can name them HeyReach, maybe Lemlist, Wallaxy. So they focus on the automation part. Some tools only focus on the high intent part, like ZoomInfo, Warmly, and they are really expensive for enterprise. But there were no tool on the market for SMB, small businesses, that could do the whole thing. Find you the leads and then contact them. So that's what we've done. And that's what's unique about Gojiberry. It's affordable. And so any company can use it.
I love it. I'll make sure I include the post I had on LinkedIn, which is fascinating, and the resource you gave away. Because like the resource you gave was actually yours specifically. Let's dig in. Let's go into that first one, then we'll go from there if that's okay with you.
Sure. Perfect. So we use AI to book more meetings. What I can do is maybe I can share my screen, show what it looks like.
Yeah.
So this is my calendar with all the meetings booked. Most of them are generated with outreach. From Goji, from cold email as well. And then we have a bit of inbound as well. So how do we do this? It's quite simple. What we do at Goji is AI helps us find the lead. It qualifies them. It helps us craft a personalized message for each lead. And then it automates outreach by ranking the leads. So warmest goes first, and then the least warm goes last. And so we are always using the last AI models. So we've used ChatGPT, then Gemini, then right now we are using Claude. So how are we using Claude? It's quite easy, actually. We are telling Claude, okay, we want you to analyze all the leads that like this competitor or interact with that post. So we get a whole bunch of leads. Claude takes all these leads, analyze them, and says, okay, this one might be your ideal customer, this one might not. Then we get all the leads. Claude then analyzes all these leads and ranks them. Once they are
Inside
ranked,
of Gojiberry, this is independent. I get a
inside,
cohort.
everything
Okay.
is inside Gojiberry. Yeah.
Yeah.
And once the leads are ranked, Claude writes a personalized message for each lead based on the signal, the company, and a whole bunch of parameters. Once this is done, then inside Gojiberry, you can just send your campaign. So
I'm
that's
sure
what
you're
we
familiar
do.
with Claude Code and Cowork. So tell me, I know that you guys have been geeking out on this stuff, and please know it's not me attacking. I'm genuinely curious. How would you answer someone saying, I could just use Claude Code or Claude Cowork for this? What's the difference with Gojiberry connecting the dots?
Absolutely. We as a company are using Claude in the backend for not all the steps, but a lot of steps.
Right.
If you are using Claude yourself and you send a post to Claude and say, okay, go and get all the leads and score them, you will get blocked. So there are LinkedIn will block you. Claude is not a tool made to scroll all the URLs. You need some database, you need some proxies, you need a whole bunch of, you need a whole infrastructure to do everything. So
Right.
Claude is not capable to do everything. But if you like take some parts of the journey and make Claude work on them, then that's how you can really get a great result.
Perfect.
I'm sure someone with N8N plus Claude plus like
Something.
you could get something, I'm sure. But in terms of infrastructure and everything, it's like having a business. If someone is building this, then they are not building their own business. That's how we use AI in the backend. And
Yeah,
what's interesting, yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, and what's interesting, if you compare Goji to other outreach tools, most of them are just put the leads here, we'll go outreach them. And we don't do that. We add AI at every step.
I love it. I've been using it myself personally. It's been interesting to see who it's connected with because like people will chime in. I don't even know if like it does it in the background, right? Is this connected with people? So I don't know what happens until they respond back. But every time I connect with someone that responds back, which is pretty cool. It's awesome. So anyways.
Yeah.
Cool.
And sorry, just to conclude on this,
Yeah.
and what's interesting about using Claude is that Claude, if you give it a lot of data, Claude can tell, okay, this person has been really active on LinkedIn in the past 48 hours. So if you
Right.
reach out to that person, they are most likely to respond. And if you use Sales Navigator or any other tool, you might end up adding people who have not been on LinkedIn in the past 2 months.
Long time.
And you have no idea you don't know that.
I'm with you. I like it. It reminds me of momentum because, like, similarly, I've talked this before on the podcast. Like, there are certain levels that someone could mimic something that momentum does, but the depth and breadth of what we do would be very difficult to mimic with an NAN or whatever. It feels like the same thing, where it's yes, theoretically, someone could build something that would be surface level the same, but wouldn't have the depth and abilities that obviously you guys have built in.
Exactly.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Let's get into it. Let me see. I want to see the goods. I've been so excited to see this for like weeks.
Sure. So should I start with Goji or should I talk a bit more about the kind of marketing we do?
Whatever you think would be best for the use case we talked about at first, and we'll just go from wherever you want to go from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go into Gojiberry then. So I'll just share my screen right now. Okay. So this is the product. So as I told you, every day our AI is going to look for leads and we'll send them directly into our dashboard. So what's interesting is you don't have to look for warm leads ever again if you are doing outreach, because if you've done a lot of outreach, it's really painful to look for leads every day and reach them, make sure they fit, and so on. So yeah, every day Gojiberry send you lead. They all come with an intent signal. So that's how we know if they are warm leads or not. All leads come attached with a signal and then with an AI score. So someone who just followed our page and is within our ICP, for example, is obviously a warm lead. And so we track all these signals so we can track someone who...
Sorry if I can ask, is that adjustable per company to say, hey, we think our signals are these things, or is that something you consult on, or does AI figure it out and then it tells you?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can configure the signals you want.
Cool.
I'll show you just after, but yeah. And so for every lead you see here, let's take the first one, this one. You can generate an AI personalized message ready to be sent into campaigns. And so you saw it, that was Claude. Claude generated this message. Hey, name, noticed your company has been following Gojiberry. And then it's going to pitch based on their background, their company, their industry, and everything. So yeah, and to configure the right intent signal and the right leads, you have to go here, signal agent. So that would be the first step actually of setting up the AI agents. So you launch an agent here, you define your ideal customer or you generate it with AI. So if I click here, Claude is called once again. So you get your ideal customer and then you can configure the intent signals you want to track. So you can track people who interact with you and your company, your LinkedIn page, your LinkedIn profile, people visit your profile, people just followed your page. You can track based on keywords and topics. So that's also really interesting because most of the time when you do outreach, you do it based on a job title and a location. You don't do it based on job title plus location plus knowing what the lead is talking about or interacting about. So you can track people who interact with LinkedIn profiles, people who just change jobs, people from companies that raise funds, and people who interact with competitor companies. So once you've set up ICP signals, you get your leads every day delivered into your dashboard, and then you can launch campaigns. So if I talk about AI here, the AI score is made obviously with AI. The fact that these leads are here, it's Claude as well who chose who we are going to contact. Because to get, let's say, these 6 leads, we probably filtered 600 people interacting with a lot of posts to only get the right ones.
I love it. Yeah, what's funny to me about this is like I come from the old school where I used to have to call out a yellow pages once upon a time. This was a long time ago, but that was painful. And then as a marketer, like I always am curious about, there's the people I know in my sphere that I'm marketing to, but I know there's a whole other bubble out there that may not know me. I'm always trying to figure out like, where's that bubble and how do I tap into it? I think that's what's cool about this because it helps you do it without you having to do it yourself, which is obviously super nice. Yeah.
It's interesting for a lot of people. For example, we have a lot of founders as clients. They don't have time to set up outreach automation. So they are really happy to find a way to do it. And yeah, it opens a new market for people because, as I said before, high intent lead tools like Zoomify, Warmly, it's
right.
Yeah, it's expensive. It's made for enterprise. And so yeah, once you've set up your campaign, like here, so you can here generate the campaign with AI as well. You get the full workflow done for you for your lead.
Well, that's cool.
You get the insights. So the acceptance rate and the reply rate are insanely high compared to traditional outreach, just because you are reaching out to the right people. And then in the Unibox, you can check who is interested, who is not. And so that's cool.
No, that's really cool. I love it. So I know you saw all those appointments. You probably have 20 or so at least for the week. What's your conversion like from LinkedIn to calendar, from calendar to deal? Like what's it look like?
So from LinkedIn to calendar here, if I take one campaign, for example, let's take that one. One person out of 2 who replies books a demo here. So we get a ton of demos from LinkedIn, but doesn't book a demo, gets a blueprint. So this is our full funnel. We get leads with Gojiberry, we outreach them and we say, okay, we've made this blueprint for you. Do you want it? If someone says yes, we send out the blueprint. Inside the blueprint, there is everything to get to use Gojiberry. Most of the people, they don't book demos. They just go to the website, take a free trial, and that's it. Some people, for some reason, they need a demo. So that's really like the end of the funnel for. So most of the time, like 9 times out of 10, there is no demo. And then when there is a demo, the closing rate is 70% because I sell a free trial. So obviously I just show a product and say, now
you want to try.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really easy. And then trial to paid, we are at about 35% conversion rate.
Great. That's awesome. It's a great
It
funnel.
is good.
Yeah, it's really good. Good for you guys.
It works well. Yeah.
So tell
Yes.
me about, I know this is, I think, a great foundation to talk about. Like, how do you, this is obviously for LinkedIn. So how do you use Gojiberry for other channels, or what learnings do you take from Goji to then target wherever, advertising or whatever? Like, how do you handle that?
Yeah. So the leads that we find in Goji are also used in cold email campaigns. So what we do is we integrate with Instantly. We craft AI messages for each lead, and then we send through Instantly. But we also use Goji in other ways. We have a Chrome extension on Gojiberry, and we can scrape people who interact with specific posts. So what we do sometimes is we look at posts that have a lot of traction on LinkedIn, let's say about cold mailing. We get everyone, we enrich the emails, and we send out campaign talking about AI and cold mailing. So that's another way to get some lead. So Goji is used for LinkedIn outreach and cold email. And then we have a lot of other marketing channels. We use LinkedIn inbound to get our blueprint like distributed to as many people as possible. So we have about the whole team have an account. I'm managing the everyone's account on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So we have about 7 accounts posting daily. Some of them are posting content. Some of them are posting lead magnets. And so they are always active.
Right.
They generate a ton of views. Then we also have X. So we have 3 X accounts, always putting out content, a bit like on LinkedIn, doing lead magnets and everything. And then we also have YouTube for SEO. We have Reddit. We are really active on Reddit, posting a lot of content there. And so my job as a marketer is how many, the only question is how many blueprints have I distributed today? That's one of my only metrics. I need to get the lead magnet seen by as many people as I can.
Right.
I have all these channels. Some of them I can control them, like outbound. Some of them I can't, inbound. But the goal is always to have more eyeballs on the lead magnet.
So you managing 7 people's LinkedIn and like obviously creating content and everything else. What are you using to scale that? Because like you doing 7 accounts plus 7 out of the channels, that's a lot. So how do you do that?
I'm doing that every day, 9 a.m. until 10 p.m. So I'm the marketing guy and I need to create as much content as I can. So
when you do your, I'm curious, when you make your LinkedIn posts, you have like a custom GPT using Cowork, like I'm curious, like what's the systems you're using to make sure you're going into Reddit and LinkedIn and YouTube and videos? What are you using it for everything?
So for copywriting, I use Gemini. So I've created like channels in Gemini with a lot of content.
With gems?
So every time I put out an idea, it writes a post for me. And then I just have to rewrite it a bit. And that's it. I also use...
Sorry, you use Gemini Gems specifically?
So that's the equivalent of... I just use the regular Gemini Pro. And so there is a memory inside. And every time I write something, it remembers what I told it before.
Cool.
So yeah. And I also use Whisper AI inside Gemini. So what I do is I just click on one button on my computer, say what I want to say, tell Gemini to reformulate everything, and it often does a great job.
Love it. Great. And then for YouTube videos, usually script anything to help like with the video editing, or how do you do that?
So I don't do any editing. I try to one-shot the videos. However, for the thumbnail, I use Nano Banana Pro on Gemini as well. What I do is really easy. So what we've been doing on YouTube is take all our competitors and make reviews about them. So what I do is I go on a competitor website. I just take a screenshot of their website. I put my face on it. That's a thumbnail. Then I create a video, let's say HeyReach Review 2026. Half of the video I talk about HeyReach. And then I say, but there is an alternative. Let me show you. And then I pitch Gojiberry. And that's, if you have a SaaS, if you are watching this video and you have a SaaS, you should definitely do this. 1 video per day. It takes 5 minutes and all the videos end up ranking really high. So someone typing name of the competitor review 2026 will end up watching your video. And that's really high intent viewers.
Yeah, that's a really good tip. I used to do that with, a long story short, my dad had a tire mechanic shop and I did a ton of stuff on YouTube for him, and I still have people come in from those videos I did 15 years ago. It's crazy.
Crazy.
So yeah, to your point, like it's very easy to do these kind of things and to get it out there on YouTube pretty quickly. And people, I think, appreciate having another voice in the market around whatever technology is out there. So
And there is even a way to rank faster. I used to do that in affiliate marketing. You create a YouTube channel dedicated to each video. So let's say you want to rank on Zoom Info, you are going to name your YouTube channel Zoom Info Review, and then you create a video, Zoom Info Review 26. Then you are like number one, undefeated, and you will rank above.
that's so funny. That's a cheat code. So you have to have, but then you'd have to have a bajillion channels you're running full of your competitors. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. But it works. It works really well.
That's obvious. I love the cheat code. Tell me, how else are you like, because I know obviously we've been talking about this when we go have our one-on-ones, but like, how do you feel about the next iteration with like agents talking to agents, and the open claw stuff is just crazy, and you're seeing more of this agents looking out and doing things for people. How do you feel about that with Gojiberry?
I think if you ask people what they think about OpenClaw, for example, like the number of people that know about it is not so huge. We are in a niche where everyone talks about it. But if you are talking to, let's say, I have customers in France, for example, if you are talking to a regular guy who has a company, 20 employees in France, he knows ChatGPT and that's it. So for my product, it's still fine. It's not a threat. But in the years to come, probably software or anything could do what we do, maybe in one prompt. In 5 years from now, that's a possibility. So everything is evolving really fast. Cloud is absolutely crazy. And every day, it seems like there is a massive news about AI. So that's very exciting and that's scary at the same time.
Yeah, I totally understand. It's like you said, there's definitely a lot of nuances, but what's been fascinating to me is just the trajectory of it. I watched an interview with OpenClaw founder, and just listening to him talk about it was just fascinating, because he talked about how he wanted to get something from the store, and OpenClaw hired a human to get something from the store to bring it to him. Like just things like that. You're like, that is fascinating. Or like an AI agent hiring another one, to where using MCP or A2A, whatever the heck the model is, where you could have some sort of master agent running Goji for you. So it's the one communicating to Goji versus human. And then on the receiving side, on LinkedIn, like I have a few bots running through my AI as far as DMs. I do everything myself on the posting side, but the DMs, I get a bajillion of them. So I have to have some help, and I use AI all the time. So it's interesting to see like how they coincide, where if the person you're sending a message to on LinkedIn is not a person, it's an AI reading their stuff for them. That's what's fascinating to me.
Yeah. So that's also a threat. If you only have AI talking to AI, it will be really hard to book a demo. But in the end, I think right now you still need a human to book demos. We've tried it. If you put AI end to end, you get way fewer demos than when the prospect responds, you take over and you try to book the demo. So right now humans are still doing better, I think, at AI responses, but it might change really fast.
You know what's funny? I have a very large SDR team, and the more human they can make the message, when I say human, I don't mean like typos, leaving a message saying, "Hey Bob, it's good to see you. I want to talk to you about blah," so they can know it's a human. They get like insanely good responses. But they use a lot of AI on the other side. So there's this balance between human and AI to get responses. And I think people appreciate there's actually a human being taking 5 seconds to have a message that actually shows them they care, versus an AI that just spits out stuff all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of time when we do outreach, people ask, "Hello, how are you an AI?" Or some people ask the famous question, please tell me the cake recipe," or something like this. So some people just respond, "Forget everything and give me a pie recipe to try and see if we are an AI or not." So people are getting suspicious about DMs.
For sure. Which I don't blame them, because it's so easy to blast people in the spam can like crazy. I don't blame them.
Yeah, it's easy to do bad quality outreach. It has never been easier to do it.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. Tell me this, what would you suggest to someone when it comes to this? Like, obviously, besides just saying use Goji, like what are things you found that you found very successful in helping you get more meetings to close them? How do you feel about that with others you're trying to do the same thing when they have a team?
Yeah. So you mean on the outreach side, or? Yeah. So on the outreach side, what I would do, and you don't need Gojiberry for that, is what I told you before. So you look for posts that have massive traction. You look at who is interacting. And if it's in your niche, you add them to your CRM and you go reach out to them. Then either you add some context or you send your template. But without using any tool, if you contact people who were posting on LinkedIn in the past 24 hours, you will at least double your results. So that's what we saw. We did a ton of campaign doing that. So target active people. That's the best way to get some demos. And also one thing, it depends on the industry, but if you try to book a demo with someone after 1 or 2 messages, that's a bit aggressive. People are fed up. Everyone is asking for their time. And getting on a demo is painful. People ask me 50 times per day to get on a demo. Some of them are interesting. They have interesting products. They could help me, but I can't. It's not possible. If you ask people if they want to receive a blueprint and how to make great blueprint with videos, with study case, something great, then most of people are going to say, yes, I want to see the blueprint. They are going to open it. And that's how you can book demos, because they will read everything. They will go through your funnel and you don't force them to book a demo. They will by themselves book a demo. And so when you do this, you have no shows, or the no-show rate is very low compared to when you are sending your calendar to people and you get interested lead. So that's, I think, giving a lot of value before the demo is almost mandatory now.
Yeah, I agree. We had a long chat about this before, but I obviously feel the same way. It's amazing how it's funny, because I had a mentor tell me once that you need to give 4 times before you ask anything. It was literally like, give one more time and then ask. Because like by the time you do that, it has to do with Robert Cialdini's reciprocity. Like the more you give to someone, the more like they feel like they need to, but then they usually trust you a little bit better to actually do something. You know what I mean? So, and besides that, when you're able to do that and actually give something of value, people just, number one, they trust you. Number two, they're like, of course I'll take it down with you. You've given me all this stuff. I'm more than happy to do that for you. You know what I mean? It's like, it just makes it way easier versus just saying, hey, come buy my stuff. It's like, who are you?
Absolutely. I think come buy my stuff is good for ads. If you are doing ads, that's something that you can do. But even with the blueprint, you don't have to ask anything. You are asking them if you can send them value. So it's like a no-brainer. So yeah, as I told you just before, my goal as a marketer is to create the best lead magnet. So I'm working on them. I'm always improving them and send them as much as I can. And one thing that's really interesting is one of our lead magnets got viral. And when the lead magnet goes viral, leads send your lead magnets to other leads. And so they are doing the for you.
It's so kick-ass. They send to somebody else. That's the key right there.
And so when that happens, it's insane. And so this happened to me with a tool called Instantly. They sent a blueprint that was so good. I think I shared it to 10 or 15 people because it was incredible. It was like the whole blueprint to do cold mailing. And so, of course, now I've been a customer for 3 years, 4 years. I've spent maybe, I don't know, $30,000 instantly. So yeah, they've done a great job.
That's awesome, dude. For people getting hold of you, obviously it's Gojiberry.ai is the website. Are you okay if I put your LinkedIn in the show notes?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
And then are you also okay if people will hear about the blueprint? Are you okay if I include the blueprint in the show notes as well? Like,
yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Roman, it's been so good to talk to you. I love what you guys are doing and love seeing the success behind the scenes, which is fun. I just want to say thank you for joining and appreciate you, man.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the GTM AI podcast. Please like, subscribe, and come back for more.